Standing at the altar in my $1,000 tux, I checked my phone one last time. Big mistake. Not coming. Ethan just bought me a Ferrari. We're driving to Vegas instead. Sorry. Lily. The priest cleared his throat. 200 guests stared at me in my perfectly pressed morning coat, waiting for my bride who was apparently test driving her new life with another man. The organ music felt like a funeral march. I showed Father Mackenzie the screen. His eyebrows shot up like rockets. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. Ladies and gentlemen, I announced, my voice carrying across the packed cathedral. The bride has informed me she won't be attending today. She's received a more attractive offer involving German engineering. Gasps rippled through the crowd. My mother clutched her pearls. Lily's sister Emma smirked from the front row like she'd been expecting this. However, I continued, pulling out the pre-nup documents from my jacket pocket, I'd like to thank everyone for witnessing the activation of Clause 17. Due to abandonment at the altar, the $10 million trust fund established for Mrs. Lily Patterson reverts entirely to me. More gasps. Emma's smirk vanished. The reception is still paid for. Please enjoy the prime rib. It cost more per pound than most people's cars. I walked down that endless aisle with every eye burning into my back. My phone buzzed with notifications. Social media was already exploding. Someone had live-streamed the whole thing. Outside, I loosened my tie and called my lawyer. David, it's Owen. Yes, I'm serious. Activate the trust clause. She texted me from what I assume is the passenger seat of a Ferrari. Jesus, Owen, are you okay? I'm about to be $10 million better than okay. My phone kept buzzing. Instagram notifications. Lily had posted a video from inside a red convertible, wind whipping through her blonde hair, some guy's hand on her thigh. Living my best life. Sometimes you have to choose happiness over security. No regrets. New beginnings. Dang Ferrari. The comments were already brutal, half calling her a gold digger, half calling me a loser who couldn't keep his woman. The video had 3,000 likes in 10 minutes. I screenshotted everything. Evidence for the lawyers. My best man Trey jogged up, still in his tux. Dude, what the hell? Apparently I've been upgraded to villain status. Want to help me play the part? Monday morning I drove to Prestige Motors in my Tesla. Still had rice in my hair from the wedding that never happened. The internet had dubbed me Jilted Billionaire Owen over the weekend. Lily's follower count had doubled. The Ferrari was parked right up front, gleaming like a red middle finger. I walked into the showroom wearing jeans and a t-shirt, looking like any other tire kicker. The salesman who approached me was young, eager, probably worked on commission. Beautiful car out front, I said. The red convertible. Oh, that one's spoken for. Just picked up Friday, cash deal. Really, how much? $350,000. The gentleman paid in full. I pulled out my phone and showed him Lily's Instagram video. This gentleman? He squinted at the screen. Well, I can't really discuss. I'm Owen Patterson, the guy she was supposed to marry, the guy she left at the altar for your customer. His face went white. Oh shit. I'm sorry, What's your name? Kevin. Kevin, I need you to pull up the paperwork on that Ferrari, right now. Sir, I really can't. I slid a $100 bill across his desk. Kevin, my wedding video has 2 million views. Half the internet thinks I'm a pathetic loser. The other half thinks she's a heartless bitch. I'm trying to figure out which half is right. He looked around nervously, then pulled up the file on his computer. The car was leased, not purchased. 48-month lease, $1,200 a month, put down first and last month plus security deposit. So he spent about $4,000, not $350? Yes, sir. And his name? Ethan Morrison. I knew that name. Lily's business manager. The guy who'd been helping her optimize her brand partnerships for the past 6 months. The guy who worked late with her every Tuesday and Thursday. Kevin, do me a favor. Call Mr. Morrison. Tell him there's an issue with his paperwork and he needs to come in immediately. I don't think I should... Another 100. Tell him it's urgent. Something about the insurance. 20 minutes later, Ethan pulled up in the Ferrari with Lily in the passenger seat. She was wearing a sundress that cost more than Kevin's monthly salary. Ethan wore a polo shirt and the kind of confidence that comes from thinking you've won. They walked into the showroom holding hands. Mr. Morrison, Kevin called out nervously. There's someone here to see you. I stood up from behind a display car. Hello, Ethan. Lily. Lily's face went sheet white. Ethan stepped protectively in front of her. What the hell are you doing here? Ethan demanded. Admiring your Ferrari. Gorgeous car. Kevin here was just telling me about the financing. It's paid for. Really? Because Kevin's computer says it's a lease, $1,200 a month, which means you spent about the same amount I spend on groceries. Other customers were starting to stare. A couple of them had their phones out. That's none of your business, Lily snapped, finding her voice. Actually, it kind of is. See, you told 2 million people that you left me for a man who bought you a Ferrari. But he didn't buy you anything. He's making payments like a college kid with his first Honda. Ethan stepped closer. You need to leave, now. Or what? You'll lease me to the end? That's when he shoved me. I'm not a big guy. 5'10", 170 soaking wet. But I'd been boxing at Trey's gym for 3 years, and I was running on pure humiliation and rage. I hit him once, clean in the nose. He went down hard, red liquid spattering on the showroom floor. Lily screamed. Kevin dove behind his desk. Other customers scattered. You psycho! Lily shrieked, kneeling beside Ethan. I'm calling the police! Go ahead, but first, let me show you something. I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. This is my account balance as of this morning. $15.7 million. That includes the $10 million from our trust fund that reverted to me when you decided to become an Instagram influencer instead of a wife. I showed the screen to the gathering crowd. Someone gasped. Ethan here spent $4,000 to steal my fiancée. I make that much in interest every week. Ethan was sitting up now, holding his nose, red liquid seeping between his fingers. You're insane, he mumbled. Maybe, but I'm rich and insane, which is a much better combination than broke and dishonest. I walked to the Ferrari and pulled out my keys, dragged them along the passenger side, leaving a deep gouge in the red paint. Oops, that's going to hurt the resale value. Stop! Lily screamed. I kept walking around the car, keys scraping metal. You wanted a villain, sweetheart. Congratulations. You created one. Security finally showed up as I finished keying the hood. 2 rent-a-cops who looked like they'd rather be anywhere else. Sir, you need to come with us. Absolutely. Kevin, make sure you get good footage of the damage for the insurance claim. Oh wait, I bet the lease doesn't cover vandalism by the previous fiancé. That's going to be expensive. As they escorted me out, I heard Lily crying and Ethan cursing. The crowd was still filming. By the time I got home, the video was already going viral. The video hit 5 million views in 2 days. The internet had decided I was either a hero or a psychopath, with no middle ground. Ferrari Gate was trending. Someone had made a remix of me saying, "You wanted a villain set to heavy metal music." My doorbell rang Tuesday morning. I opened it to find my stepdaughter Cleo standing there with 2 suitcases and a face full of righteous anger. You're a monster, she announced, pushing past me into my condo. Cleo was 19, a sophomore at Northwestern studying communications. Lily's daughter from her first marriage, but I'd been helping pay her tuition for 2 years. She had her mother's blonde hair and her father's sense of entitlement. Good morning to you too, Cleo. Coffee? You humiliated my mother in front of the entire world. Your mother humiliated herself. I just provided context. She slammed her purse down on my kitchen counter. She's getting serious threats. People are calling her a gold-digging whore. Are they wrong? She loved you. She had a funny way of showing it, screwing her business manager for 6 months, then leaving me at the altar for a leased Ferrari. Cleo's face crumpled. You don't understand. Ethan makes her happy. He sees her potential. He sees her follower count and her connection to my bank account. That's not true! I pulled out my phone and showed her the screenshots I'd been collecting. Text messages between Lily and Ethan going back months. Photos of them together at hotels. Credit card receipts for romantic dinners while I was working late. Your mother's been planning this for a while, Cleo. The only thing she didn't plan on was the trust fund clause. Cleo scrolled through the evidence, her face getting paler with each image. This doesn't mean anything. Maybe they're just friends. Friends don't send pictures like that. She looked at one of the more explicit photos and quickly handed the phone back. Okay, maybe she made some mistakes, but destroying her life isn't going to fix anything. I'm not destroying anything, I'm just not paying for it anymore. What do you mean? I sat down across from her at the kitchen table. Cleo, I've been covering your tuition, your apartment, your car payment, your credit cards. $60,000 a year, not counting the extras. So that was part of my arrangement with your mother. I take care of her daughter, she takes care of me, but she's not taking care of me anymore, is she? The color drained from her face. You can't cut me off. I'm in the middle of a semester. I can, and I am. Effective immediately. But I don't have any money. My dad doesn't pay for anything. Then maybe you should ask your mother's new boyfriend. I hear he's got a Ferrari. It's leased. Exactly my point. She started crying then, big dramatic sobs that probably worked on professors and boyfriends. They didn't work on me. Please, Owen, I'm sorry about what Mom did, but I didn't do anything wrong. Didn't you? I pulled up her TikTok account on my phone. You posted this yesterday. The video showed her crying into the camera, talking about her psychotic stepfather who destroyed her family because he couldn't handle rejection. It had 800,000 views. You called me psychotic. To 800,000 people. I was upset. So was I, when your mother left me at the altar, but I didn't make a TikTok about it. You did something worse. You made her look like a fool. She is a fool. She gave up $15 million for a lease payment. Cleo wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. Money isn't everything. Says the girl who's been spending mine for 2 years. That's different. How? Because I'm family. No, Cleo, you're not. Your mother and I never got married. Legally, you're a stranger who's been living off my generosity. She stared at me like I'd slapped her. I thought you cared about me. I did, past tense, but you chose your side when you made that video. I can delete it. Too late. It's already been screenshotted and reposted everywhere. The damage is done. She sat there for a long moment, processing the reality of her situation. What am I supposed to do? Get a job, take out student loans, ask your mother to support you for once. She doesn't have any money. She's got Ethan. He's not going to pay for my college. Then maybe you should have thought about that before you called me psychotic on social media. She gathered up her purses and headed for the door, then turned back. You know what? Everyone's right about you. You are a monster. Maybe, but I'm a monster with $15 million. Your mother's just a monster. After she left, I poured myself a scotch and opened my laptop. Time to see what other damage control I needed to do. My business partners had been calling all morning. The company's stock price had actually gone up 3% since the Ferrari video went viral. Apparently, the internet thought a CEO who fought back was more trustworthy than one who got walked on. My phone rang. David, my lawyer. Owen, we need to talk. Lily's hired representation. What kind of representation? Sherman, Katz and Associates. They're claiming emotional distress, defamation, harassment. Good luck with that. Everything I said was true. They're also claiming you assaulted Ethan. He pushed me first. It's on video. I know, but they're going to make this ugly. Let them try. I've got screenshots of her cheating going back 6 months, plus the prenup clause. She doesn't have a leg to stand on. Just try not to key any more cars, okay? No promises. Wednesday night, I met my old crew at Murphy's bar, like we'd been doing every week for 5 years. Trey, Marcus, and Jake, the guys who'd been my groomsmen, who'd stood by me through the divorce from my first wife, who'd helped me build my company from nothing. I walked in expecting sympathy, maybe some dark humor about the situation. Instead, I got 3 uncomfortable faces staring into their beers. Well, this is festive, I said, sliding into the booth. Who passed away? Trey looked up first. Big guy, ex-boxer, usually had my back in any situation. We saw the videos, man. Which ones? There are like 12 now. All of them, Marcus said quietly. Marcus was my old college roommate, an accountant, steady as a rock. Owen, what the hell are you doing? Getting even. You're getting crazy, Jake added. Jake ran a construction company. No nonsense, practical. Keying cars, hitting people, this isn't you. Maybe it is me. Maybe I've been pretending to be someone else for too long. Listen, Trey said. We get it. Lily screwed you over. But this revenge thing, it's getting out of hand. Out of hand? She left me at the altar for a leased car and a fake businessman. I'm just making sure people know the truth. You're making yourself look like a psycho, Marcus said. The videos, the social media posts, cutting off Cleo. People are starting to worry about you. People? Or you 3? They exchanged glances. Jake cleared his throat. We think you should take a break. Maybe see someone. Talk to a professional. A shrink? A therapist, Marcus corrected. Someone who can help you process this in a healthy way. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. A healthy way? Like what, exactly? Should I have just smiled and waved when she drove off with another man? Should I have paid for her new boyfriend's car insurance? You should have handled it privately, Jake said, like an adult. She made it public when she posted that Instagram video. I just responded in kind. By destroying her life, Trey said. By telling the truth. The truth doesn't require keying cars and punching people. Doesn't it? Because the truth without consequences is just words. And words didn't stop her from cheating on me for 6 months. Marcus leaned forward. Owen, we're worried about you. This isn't the guy we know. Maybe you never knew me at all. Come on, man. We've been friends for years. Have we? Because friends usually support each other when they get betrayed and humiliated. We do support you, Jake said. That's why we're here. No, you're here to tell me I'm wrong. To tell me I should just take it and move on. To tell me I'm the problem. You are becoming the problem, Trey said bluntly. Lily was wrong to cheat on you. Wrong to leave you at the altar. But what you're doing now is worse. Worse than cheating? Worse than moving on. I stood up. You know what? I thought you guys were my friends. But friends don't abandon you when things get messy. We're not abandoning you, Marcus said. We're trying to help you. By taking her side? There are no sides here, Owen. There's just right and wrong. Exactly. And I'm right. No, Jake said quietly. You're angry. There's a difference. I looked at the 3 of them, these guys I'd trusted with everything, and realized they were just like everyone else. Fair-weather friends who were fine with me when I was successful and stable, but couldn't handle me when I fought back. You know what the funny thing is? When I was getting walked on, when I was working 80-hour weeks to build something while my fiancée was screwing around behind my back, you guys thought I was a good man, a stable guy, someone you wanted to be around. I pulled out my wallet and threw a 50 on the table. But the minute I stop being a victim, the minute I start hitting back, suddenly I'm the bad guy. Suddenly I need therapy. Owen, don't do this, Trey said. Do what? Tell the truth? Because here's the truth. You three are cowards. You're so afraid of conflict, so desperate to be seen as reasonable, that you'd rather side with a cheating liar than stand by a friend who's been wronged. That's not fair, Marcus protested. Fair? Nothing about this has been fair, but at least now I know who my real friends are. I headed for the door, then turned back. When this is over, when I've finished making my point, don't call me, don't text me, don't pretend we're still friends, because friends don't abandon each other when the going gets tough. Owen, wait. But I was already gone. Thursday morning brought a surprise visitor. Emma, Lily's younger sister, showed up at my office building looking nervous and guilty. Emma was the opposite of Lily in every way. Where Lily was blonde and flashy, Emma was brunette and understated. Where Lily craved attention, Emma preferred shadows. She worked as a nurse, drove a Honda Civic, and had never asked me for anything in the 2 years I'd known her. We need to talk, she said, when my assistant brought her into my office. If this is about your sister, it's about all of it. The whole thing. She sat down across from my desk, clutching her purse like a life preserver. Owen, there are things you don't know. Such as? Such as this wasn't spontaneous. Lily's been planning to leave you for months. I figured that out from the text messages. No, I mean really planning, like with a strategy. She opened her purse and pulled out a folder. I found these in her apartment when I helped her move last week. The folder contained printouts of my financial statements, copies of the prenup, research on trust fund clauses, and a timeline written in Lily's handwriting. She's been studying your money for months, Emma said, looking for ways to get around the prenup. I flipped through the pages. There were notes about community property laws, calculations of potential alimony, even research on how to claim emotional abuse. Where did she get my financial information? From you. Your laptop, your desk, your phone when you were in the shower. She's been photographing documents for weeks. And you knew about this? Emma looked ashamed. I suspected, but I didn't know how bad it was until I saw this. There was more. Screenshots of conversations between Lily and Ethan dating back 8 months. Plans to milk the relationship until after the wedding, then file for divorce and claim half of everything. The Ferrari thing was supposed to be different, Emma continued. She was supposed to go through with the wedding first, but Ethan got impatient. He convinced her to run away instead. Why are you telling me this? Because what she did was wrong. And because... She hesitated. Because I think you deserve to know the truth. The whole truth? Ethan isn't who he says he is. His real name is Eric Morrison. He's been married twice before, both times to women with money. Both marriages ended with restraining orders. She handed me another folder. Court documents, police reports, financial records. He's a professional con man. He targets successful women, marries them, takes their money, then disappears. Lily's just his latest mark. I studied the documents. Eric Ethan had a pattern. Charm offensive, whirlwind romance, expensive gestures, then systematic financial abuse. How did you find all this? I hired a private investigator. Cost me $3,000 I didn't have, but I was worried about Lily. Worried enough to let her destroy my life? I tried to warn her. She wouldn't listen, said I was jealous of her happiness. So why come to me now? Emma looked out the window at the city skyline. Because she called me last night, crying. Ethan emptied her checking account and disappeared. Left her stuck with the Ferrari lease and a hotel bill she can't pay. Where is she now? Staying with friends, posting on Instagram about temporary setbacks and learning experiences. But she's broke, Owen. Completely broke. I felt a flicker of something that might have been sympathy, but only a flicker. That's not my problem anymore. I know, and I'm not asking you to help her. I thought you should know that you were right. About everything. Small comfort. Maybe. But there's something else. She pulled out her phone and showed me a text message. She sent this to Cleo yesterday. The message read, "Don't worry about money. Owen will take you back once he calms down. Just play the victim for a few more days." "She's still trying to manipulate the situation," Emma said. "Still trying to use people. Including you? She asked me to talk to you, to convince you to be reasonable about Cleo's expenses. And instead, you brought me evidence of her fraud. Because someone should tell the truth for once." I looked at Emma, really looked at her, and realized she was the only honest person in Lily's entire family. "What do you want from me?" I asked. "Nothing. I just thought you deserved to know that your instincts were right. Lily isn't a victim. She's a predator who got out predated. And now she's broke and abandoned." "Yes." "Good." Emma flinched at the coldness in my voice. "Owen, I know you're angry. I'm not angry anymore, Emma. I'm done. Lily made her choice. She can live with the consequences." "What about Cleo? What about her? She chose sides. She called me a monster on social media. Actions have consequences for her too. She's just a kid. She's 19 years old and in college, old enough to know better." Emma stood up to leave, then paused at the door. "For what it's worth, I'm sorry. About all of it. Don't be sorry. Be smarter. Don't let your sister drag you down with her." After she left, I sat in my office looking at the evidence she'd brought me. Proof that I'd been right about everything. Proof that Lily was exactly the calculating gold digger I'd suspected. It should have felt like vindication. Instead, it just felt empty. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "This is Ethan. We need to talk." I met Ethan at a coffee shop downtown, neutral territory where we could talk without causing another viral incident. He looked different than he had at the dealership. Older, tired, like the mask had finally slipped. "You look like hell," I said, sitting down across from him. "Thanks. You look like a guy who's been keying cars." "Fair enough. What do you want, Eric?" His face went pale. "How did you know your real name? Know about your previous wives? Know about the restraining orders?" I pulled out Emma's folder and set it on the table. "I know everything." He stared at the documents like they were a cancer diagnosis. "Where did you get these?" "Does it matter? The question is, what are you going to do now?" "What do you mean?" "I mean you've got two choices. Disappear quietly, or I make your life as public as you made mine." He leaned back in his chair. "You can't threaten me." "I'm not threatening you. I'm offering you the same deal you offered me. A choice." "What choice?" I opened the folder and spread out the police reports. Choice 1. You leave town today. Change your name again. Find a new hunting ground. Start over somewhere else. I keep this information to myself. And choice 2? I hold a press conference. Show the world who Eric Morrison really is. Let them know that the man who stole my fiancée is a serial con artist with a history of domestic abuse. He was quiet for a long moment, processing his options. "You know she's broke, right?" he said finally. "I heard." "Completely broke. Can't even pay her rent. Still not my problem. She's talking about going back to you, begging for forgiveness. She can talk all she wants. I'm not listening. What if she shows up at your place, crying, apologizing, promising to make it right? Then she'll be disappointed." He laughed, but there was no humor in it. "You really hate her, don't you?" "I don't hate her. I just don't care about her anymore. There's a difference." "Is there?" "Hate requires emotional investment. I've withdrawn mine." "That's cold, man." Says the guy who's made a career out of robbing women. I never robbed anyone. I just took advantage of opportunities. Like you took advantage of Lily? Lily wasn't innocent. She knew exactly what she was doing. Enlighten me. He leaned forward, lowering his voice. She didn't want your money for herself. She wanted it for her daughter. Cleo. Cleo's got medical bills. Big ones. Something about a chronic condition that insurance won't cover. I felt a chill run down my spine. What kind of condition? I don't know the details, but Lily was desperate. Said she needed at least $200,000 to cover the treatments. That's impossible. Cleo's healthy. Is she? When's the last time you actually talked to her? Really talked to her? I tried to remember. Cleo had been tired a lot lately, missing classes, sleeping more than usual. I'd assumed it was typical college behavior. You're lying. Why would I lie? I'm already screwed. To make me feel guilty, to manipulate me into taking Lily back. I don't give a shit if you take Lily back. I'm done with her. She's broke, desperate, and crazy. Not a good combination. He stood up to leave, then turned back. But if you want to know the truth about why she really left you, ask her about Cleo's medical records. Ask her why she was so desperate for money. Where are you going? Away. Far away. You win, Owen. Congratulations. After he left, I sat in the coffee shop staring at my phone. I could call Cleo, ask her directly about her health, but that would mean admitting I cared, and I wasn't ready to do that. Instead, I called Emma. Is Cleo sick? I asked when she answered. Long pause. Why are you asking? Just answer the question. Owen, this isn't something I should discuss over the phone. Emma, is Cleo sick? Another pause. Yes. The word hit me like a physical blow. How sick? Sick enough that she needs treatment, expensive treatment. What kind of treatment? The kind that costs more money than Lily has. The kind that insurance companies call experimental. Why didn't anyone tell me? Lily wanted to, but Cleo made her promise not to. She didn't want your help to be about pity. I closed my eyes and tried to process this information. Everything I thought I knew about the situation was shifting. Is that why Lily was so focused on money? Partly. She was desperate, Owen. Desperate people make bad choices. Bad choices like cheating on me for 6 months? Bad choices like trusting the wrong man. And leaving me at the altar? And thinking she could handle everything herself instead of asking for help. I sat there in silence, trying to reconcile this new information with everything I'd believed. Owen? Are you still there? Yeah, I'm here. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. But even as I said it, I was already forming a plan. That evening, I drove to the address Emma had given me. Lily was staying with her friend Sarah in a cramped apartment across town, the kind of place she would have called quaint when she was being condescending. I sat in my car for 20 minutes watching the building, trying to decide if I was making a mistake. My phone buzzed. A text from Cleo. I saw Ethan today. He told me you know about my condition. We need to talk. I texted back. Where are you? With Mom. Sarah's apartment. Building 4, Unit 12. I'm outside. 5 minutes later, Cleo emerged from the building. She looked thin, paler than I remembered. How had I missed the signs? She got into my car without saying anything. We sat in awkward silence for a moment. How long? I asked finally. 6 months. Maybe longer. The same time your mother started cheating. She wasn't cheating because she wanted to. She was cheating because she thought she had to. Explain that. Cleo turned to face me. The treatments I need cost $200,000 minimum. Insurance won't cover them because they're considered experimental. Mom knew you had the money, but she also knew you'd never agree to spend that much on me. Why wouldn't I? Because I'm not your daughter. Because you barely know me. Because $200,000 is a lot of money to spend on someone else's kid. So she decided to steal it instead. She decided to secure it. The plan was to marry you, then ask for help with my medical bills as your stepdaughter. If you said no, she'd have legal rights to half your assets. And Ethan? Was supposed to be her backup plan. He promised to help with the money if things went wrong. But he disappeared instead. With what little money she had left. I looked at this young woman I'd helped raise for 2 years, trying to see past my anger to the scared kid underneath. Why didn't you just ask me directly? Because I didn't want your help to be about pity. I wanted it to be about caring. And you thought I didn't care? I thought you cared about Mom more than me. And when she left you, I figured that was it for me too. So you made that TikTok video. I was angry and scared. And I thought if I could make people feel sorry for Mom, maybe she'd get sponsorship deals or something. Maybe we could figure out another way to pay for treatment. How's that working out? It's not. She's got like 12 followers left and no money. I started the car. Come on. Where are we going? To talk to your mother. We rode the elevator up to the 4th floor in silence. I knocked on apartment 12, and Sarah answered the door. She looked surprised to see me. Owen? What are you doing here? I need to talk to Lily. Sarah looked uncertain. I don't think that's a good idea. She's pretty fragile right now. I'll be gentle. Lily appeared behind Sarah, and I barely recognized her. Gone was the perfectly made-up Instagram influencer. This was a woman who'd been crying for days, wearing sweatpants and no makeup, looking every one of her 28 years. What do you want? She asked quietly. To talk. Privately. Sarah looked between us nervously. Maybe I should stay? It's okay, Lily said. We need to have this conversation. We sat in Sarah's tiny living room, Cleo between us on the couch like a referee. I know about Cleo's condition, I said without preamble. Lily's face crumpled. I wanted to tell you. I tried to tell you so many times. But you decided to lie and cheat instead. I decided to protect my daughter. By destroying our relationship. By securing her future. I thought if we were married, you'd feel obligated to help. If we were just dating, you could walk away any time. So you manipulated me. Yes. And cheated on me. Yes. And left me at the altar. Yes. She was crying now, ugly sobs that shook her whole body. I know how it looks. I know what I did was wrong, but I was desperate, Owen. My daughter was dying and I didn't know what else to do. You could have trusted me. Could I? Really? Would you have spent $200,000 on my daughter's medical bills if I'd just asked? I thought about it honestly. 6 months ago, before I knew Cleo well, before I understood what she meant to me, would I have written that check? I don't know, I admitted. Exactly, so I tried to guarantee it. By lying. By being strategic. And Ethan was supposed to be my insurance policy. He promised to help if you wouldn't. But he robbed you instead. He robbed me instead. We sat in silence for a moment. Cleo was crying too now, quiet tears that broke my heart. What happens now? Lily asked. Now you tell me everything. The real diagnosis, the treatment options, the costs, the timeline, everything. Why? Because despite everything you've done, despite all the lies and manipulation and betrayal, I still care about Cleo, and she needs help. Lily looked stunned. You'd still help her? After everything? I'd help her. Not you. Her. What's the difference? The difference is that she's 19 years old and sick, and you're a grown woman who made terrible choices. So you'll pay for her treatment? I'll consider it, if she wants my help. I turned to Cleo. Do you want my help? She nodded, unable to speak. Then we'll figure it out. But there are conditions. What conditions? Lily asked. First, no more lies, ever, about anything. Second, no more social media drama. Delete the videos, stop posting about our personal business, disappear from the internet. Okay. Third, you stay away from me, completely. I'll work with Cleo and her doctors directly. You and I are done. I understand. And fourth, you get a job. A real job. Stop trying to be an influencer and start being a responsible adult. Okay? I stood up to leave. I'll have my lawyer draw up an agreement. Medical expenses only, paid directly to providers, with full documentation required. Owen, Lily called as I reached the door. What? Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank your daughter. She's the only reason I'm doing this. Outside in the hallway, Cleo caught up with me. Why? She asked. Why would you help me after everything that happened? Because you're not your mother, and because everyone deserves a chance to get well. I'm sorry about the TikTok video. I know, just no more social media drama, okay? I'm tired of being internet famous. Okay. And Cleo, next time you're scared or need help, just ask. Don't let your mother turn it into a conspiracy. I will. Good. Now let's go figure out how to get you healthy. As we walked to the elevator, I realized something had shifted inside me. The anger was still there, but it was focused now. Lily had betrayed me, but she'd done it for her daughter. That didn't excuse the lies or the cheating, but it explained them. And sometimes understanding is enough to let you move forward. 3 months later, I was sitting in my office when my assistant buzzed me. There's a Lily Patterson here to see you. She says it's important. I hadn't seen or spoken to Lily since that night at Sarah's apartment. Cleo's treatment was going well, paid for directly through a medical trust I'd established. Lily had kept her word about staying away from me and off social media. Send her in. She looked different, healthier. She was wearing business clothes and had her hair pulled back professionally. She looked like someone who'd gotten her life together. Thank you for seeing me, she said, sitting down across from my desk. What do you want, Lily? To apologize. Properly this time. You already apologized. No, I explained. There's a difference. She took a deep breath. What I did to you was unforgivable. I lied, I cheated, I manipulated, and I humiliated you in front of everyone you knew. There's no excuse for that. No, there isn't. I was desperate and scared, and I made choices that hurt someone who'd been nothing but good to me. You didn't deserve any of it. No, I didn't. I know you'll probably never forgive me, and I understand that. But I needed you to know that I'm sorry. Really, truly sorry. I studied her face, looking for signs of manipulation or hidden agenda. I didn't see any. How's the job search going? I got hired at a marketing firm downtown, junior account executive. It's not glamorous, but it's honest work. Good. And I'm seeing a therapist, trying to figure out why I thought lying was easier than asking for help. Any insights? A few. Mostly that I was so afraid of being rejected that I guaranteed it. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Exactly. We sat in silence for a moment. How's Cleo doing? She asked. Better. The treatments are working. She should be able to go back to school full-time next semester. Thank you for everything you've done for her. She's a good kid. She deserves a chance. She is, and she does. Lily stood up to leave. I won't bother you again, Owen. I just wanted you to know that I'm trying to be better. Lily? She turned back. For what it's worth, I hope you succeed. Thank you. After she left, I sat in my office thinking about forgiveness and second chances and the difference between understanding and excusing. My phone buzzed. A text from Cleo. Doctors say I'm in remission. Want to celebrate? Dinner's on me. Well, technically on you since you're still paying for everything, but you know what I mean. I smiled and texted back. Pick the place. I'll drive. That evening, we went to a small Italian restaurant near her apartment. She looked healthy for the first time in months, color in her cheeks, energy in her voice. So what's next? I asked over dessert. Back to school in January. I'm thinking about changing my major. From communications to what? Pre-med. I want to help other people who are going through what I went through. That's a long road. 8 years minimum, maybe more. Expensive road too. Are you offering to pay for medical school too? Maybe. If you keep your grades up and stay off TikTok. She laughed. Deal. What about your mother? What about her? Are things better between you two? Getting there. She's trying, Owen. Really trying. Good. She should be. Do you think you'll ever forgive her? I thought about it. I don't know. Maybe. But forgiveness isn't the same as forgetting. What do you mean? I mean, I understand why she did what she did, but I'll never trust her again. And I'll never put myself in a position where she can hurt me again. That seems fair? I think so. We finished dinner and I drove her home. As she got out of the car, she turned back. Owen, thank you. For everything. You're welcome. And Owen? For what it's worth, I think you're a good man, even when you were being a villain. Even when I was keying cars? Especially then. Sometimes good men have to do bad things to protect themselves. Is that what I was doing? Wasn't it? I thought about it as I drove home. Maybe she was right. Maybe sometimes the only way to stop being a victim is to become something else entirely. My phone rang as I pulled into my driveway. Trey. Hey man, he said when I answered. I saw the news about Cleo, heard she's doing better. She is. That's great, really great. Yeah. Listen, Owen, about what happened at Murphy's. We were wrong. Were you? Yeah. We should have supported you instead of judging you. Maybe. We miss you, man. It's not the same without you. I sat in my car in the darkness, thinking about friendship and loyalty and second chances. Murphy's tomorrow night? Trey asked hopefully. Maybe. Let me think about it. Okay. But Owen, we're sorry. All of us. I know. After he hung up, I sat there for a while longer, thinking about everything that had happened. The betrayal, the anger, the revenge, the understanding, the forgiveness. Maybe Cleo was right. Maybe sometimes good men have to become villains to protect themselves. And maybe sometimes villains can find their way back to being good men. I got out of the car and walked to my front door, thinking about tomorrow night and Murphy's bar and the possibility of second chances. Behind me, my phone buzzed with a notification. Someone had posted a new video about me, probably rehashing the Ferrari incident or speculating about my relationship with Lily. I didn't check it. I was done being internet famous. I was ready to just be Owen again,